We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever, oh, ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz. The movie is directed by Victor Fleming and written by Noel Langley, Florence Ryerson, and Edgar Allan Wolfe, and is based on the book by L. Frank Baum. And the movie follows a young girl named Dorothy who gets transported to a magical world after her house gets sucked up in a tornado, and she must find her way home, and along the way she meets a scarecrow, a tin man, and a cowardly lion, and they're going to the wizard in the Emerald City to see if they can get a brain, a heart, and courage, and they also have to face a wicked witch and everything. This is easily my favorite movie of all time. It's been my favorite movie ever since I was a little kid. It was the first movie that I remember watching, the first movie that I fell in love with as a kid and everything. And today marks 80 years since this movie came out, and 80 years later this movie is still just an amazing movie. I wish I would have gotten to see it when it first came out, but the cast is excellent in this, especially Judy Garland as Dorothy. I think that's probably one of my all-time favorite movie performances. Ray Bolger as the Scarecrow is awesome. He's hilarious and everything. I love how rubbery he is. Like he falls down a lot, but he has this rubberiness to him, if that makes sense, the way he moves and everything. It makes it really believable, because you think that'd probably be how a Scarecrow would move. Jack Haley plays the Tin Man, who's personally my favorite character in this movie, besides Dorothy. And he is great too. I love his song, If I Only Had a Heart. That's probably my favorite song, one of my favorite songs in the movie. It's not my most favorite, but it's definitely one of them. Bert Lahr plays the Cowardly Lion, and he is hilarious too. I love when we very first meet the lion and he's running his mouth to the Scarecrow and Tin Man and calling them names and stuff, and making jokes, and he's like, "Stay fresh in that can," to the Tin Man. It cracks me up. And then he calls the Scarecrow a lopsided bag of hay and everything, and then he acts like he's gonna get Toto, and Dorothy pops him on the nose and he starts crying. It cracks me up. It reminds me of my brother, the way he used to run his mouth when he was a kid and everything, but if anybody came towards him, he would start crying. It cracked me up. Billy Burke is great as Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. Although she's not in this movie a lot, she's in here for a few minutes at the beginning, during the Munchkinland scene, and towards the end of it. I also like the Munchkins quite a bit too. I thought they were pretty good, and of course, who doesn't love the Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Clara Blandick plays Annie M. She's only in here at the beginning and the end of the movie, but she's good in the little bit of time we get to see her in. And Charlie Grapewen plays Uncle Henry, and he does a good job too. He also is kind of funny. He cracks me up in the scene where Mrs. Gulch comes to get Toto and everything, and he's making jokes at her and everything. And then, like, when Annie M goes off on her and everything, you can tell he's trying not to laugh. I love that scene. And of course, Margaret Hamilton plays the Wicked Witch, and she is just absolutely perfect. One of the best villain portrayals of all time. I think she ranks up there with Ralph Fiennes as Voldemort, and James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader. I think that she ranks up there as one of the best acted villains, for sure. And then, of course, Ray Bolger also plays Hunk, and Jackie Haley. I almost said Jackie Earl Haley. Jack Haley plays Hickory, and Burt Lahr plays Zeke. They're like the workers on the farm, the farmhand people. And Margaret Hamilton also plays Mrs. Gulch. So I also like that like all these characters are played by people that Dorothy are also played by the same people Dorothy knows, and she acknowledges it at the end when she points everybody out. And then, of course, Frank Morgan, who plays like 5 different roles in this movie, is great too. He plays Professor Marvel at the beginning of the movie when they're in Kansas, and then he plays the guy who answers the door at the Emerald City, and he plays a cabbie and a guard for the Wizard, and then, of course, the Wizard. So he's really great in this movie too. He plays multiple characters and does a really, really great job. There's not really anything about this movie that I don't like. I love the editing by Blanche Sewell, because they had to do really good editing when it cuts from the sepia tone to the color tone when Dorothy walks out of the house into Oz and everything. I think that Blanche Sewell did a really great job on that. The cinematography by Harold Rosen was really good too. I love all of the sets and everything, especially the Munchkin Land set and the Emerald City set were all really great. And the forests and stuff were really cool too. The costume designed by Adrian was really good too, and I love the makeup effects and stuff. They did a really good job on the makeup, especially for Burt Lahr as the lion. He actually used a real lion skin for his costume. I thought that was pretty interesting. And they had talked about having Leo the lion from the MGM logo play the lion. I thought that would have been kind of weird. It would have been the lion, and then I guess Burt Lahr would have just done the voiceover. I think, I'm not for sure. Ray Bolger's makeup on the Scarecrow, it's really good. Like the way they do his makeup and make it look like his face has a sack head on it, because I don't think he actually wore. Actually, I know he didn't actually wear a sack head. They did a really good job on that, and for a long time I actually thought he did have like a thing over his face, but it turns out he really didn't. I thought that was really cool. And the makeup on the Tin Man and his costume was also really great. Now, I think one of the reasons why the Tin Man is one of my favorite movies is because movie characters. Is because when I was a kid, my very first memory of Halloween, I dressed up as the Tin Man and everything, and went to this Halloween party thing, and I won the costume contest that they were having that night for being dressed up as a Tin Man. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite characters. I love the music in this. The songs are some of the most iconic songs, especially Somewhere Over the Rainbow and We're Off to See the Wizard. But I love all of the songs in this movie. Like I said, If I Only Had a Heart is easily one of my favorites in this movie. And I love the song when they're in the Emerald City and the Merry Land of Oz and If I Were King of the Forest, which that one I used to not like when I was a kid, but as I've gotten older I've come to appreciate it a lot more. And I love, of course, Ding Dong the Witch is Dead and the songs in the Munchkin Land. But Yip Harburg does the lyrics for it, and I love how he makes rhyming words with words that aren't even real, like in the If I Only Had a Brain song, he's like, when he does the I unravel every riddle with any individual and stuff like that. He just did a really good job with rhyming words with words that don't really exist or anything, but they rhyme with words to make it make sense. Harold Arlen did a great job doing the composing of the songs. And the score by Herbert Stothart is one of the best movie scores of all time too. I love all of the music in this and everything. But this is just one of those movies that I've probably seen this movie more than I have any movie. I've probably watched it over 200 or 300 times because I used to watch it 4 or 5 times daily when I was a little kid and everything. I've had tons of copies of it. I've had probably 15 VHS copies, about 5 DVD copies, and currently I'm on my first Blu-ray copy. I haven't rebought it on Blu-ray yet, but if they release it in 4K, I'll probably get that, because eventually I want to get a 4K player and everything. So eventually I'm going to get it on 4K if they ever release it on there. And it's just, this is, like I said, it's my favorite movie of all time. It's the reason, this is the movie I credit for the reason why I love movies. I've been wanting to review this on my channel since I started it back in early 2017, but I've been purposely waiting because I wanted to review it on that 80th anniversary that this movie came out. It's, like I said, this is just a great classic. There's nothing about this movie that I don't like and everything, except for some of the things that happened during production, but it's not stuff that's in the final movie and everything. Now I don't really want to talk about the things that went behind the scenes with Judy Garland, because I know she was mistreated and stuff. I don't like thinking about that, but I just absolutely love this movie. It's one of the best, or to me it is the best movie ever made. A lot of people always make fun of me for saying it because of it being a family movie and being old, but I just absolutely love it. I love the visual effects in this because they had to use nothing but practical effects, and they did really good. And I don't really think any of the visual effects have really aged that much. I think they all still look really good and everything. I think they look better than anything we get nowadays and everything. But anyway, obviously I'm going to give The Wizard of Oz a 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen this movie, I definitely would recommend seeing it. It's a really great movie. It's one of those movies that I think every film buff should at least see one time and everything, because it's just such a great movie and everything. And it's hard to believe that when this movie came out, people didn't really like it. I think it won like a really big hit, but it didn't become a hit till it started getting re-releases and played on TV and stuff. It is when it started becoming the sensation that it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
Mock, yeah, ing, yeah, bird, yeah, yeah. Yeah, mockingbird, don't everybody have you heard? She's gonna buy me a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, she's gonna buy me a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring